I am still flabbergasted over the fact that my Toronto Raptors are playing in the NBA Finals! I've waited quite literally my entire life for a Toronto sports team to make it, so it is an incredible feeling. In this video, I'm gonna give you my deepest and dirtiest sassy ass analysis yet for the 2019 NBA Finals. As your neighborhood sporty and spicy drag queen, I've discovered that I've converted a lot of new basketball fans. So I figured to start this video, I would fill all of you in on all of the drama leading up to this particular series. This one's for all the fresh fishies out there. If you feel like you've got a good grasp on these teams and you're just hungry for my juicy analysis, feel free to skip ahead to this minute marker up here, or stick around for story time. Do what you want. It's a free country, unless you're watching from Saudi Arabia. Then it's definitely not a free country. Mood lighting. It's 2014, a simpler time, when Macklemore was considered a better rapper than Kendrick Lamar. The Miami Heat, led by LeBron James, have won back-to-back championships and are squaring off against the San Antonio Spurs for a second consecutive year. But hark! Who's this? A young, studly small forward by the name of Kawhi Leonard absolutely stifles the King James, and he leads the Spurs to victory over the defending back-to-back champs. Fast forward to 2015, the Warriors have discovered that a three-point shot is worth more than a two-point shot. NBA analysts are losing their lunch over this new approach to basketball.
I don't think you can win the championship beating good teams shoot jumpers.
Led by the Splash Brothers, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, and little big man Draymond Green, they rained threes on the Kings parade on their way to their first title since 1975. And the following season, the Warriors were the hot new thing. They won a record 73 games in the regular season and were widely regarded as the greatest team of all time. But in the playoffs, they were almost ousted by the Oklahoma City Thunder, led by the second best player in the league, Kevin Durant. Remember that name. But the Warriors managed to squeak by the Thunder in a close 7-game series. That year in the East, King James led his Cavaliers past the Raptors in their furthest ever playoff push. The city of Toronto showered the Raptors with love and said, "Don't worry, DeMar, you'll get him next year." He wouldn't. In the finals, the Warriors looked like the greatest team of all time as they mounted an insurmountable 3-1 lead. Oh, did I say insurmountable? I meant to say surmountable, because LeBron and company surmounted the shit out of that with 3 straight wins to win the title. The Warriors were devastated, but sentiment around the league was that Golden State would be back, contending for the crown again next season. And then, oh boy. Did you ever have that rich friend in college who was never taught how to do laundry, so they just went out and bought new clothes? Think of the Warriors as that rich friend. Because instead of cleaning up their schemes for the following season, they just went out and signed the second best player in the league, Kevin Durant, to join their already stacked super team. It was kinda like using a fire hose to blow out a birthday candle. You know, it just dampened the whole party. The Warriors would go on to win the next 2 titles in 2017 and 2018. And in those consecutive years in the East, LeBron would oust Toronto in embarrassing fashion, leading to that ever so lovely moniker, LeBronto. But wait, what's this? The 2018 offseason rolls around and LeBron leaves the East. And there's more. That studly small forward from San Antonio wants out after his team misdiagnoses an injury following this dirty play from a member of, you guessed it, the Golden State Warriors. Enter the Masai-ah, Masai Ujiri. Masai decides that the window for Toronto to win is now, and he deals DeMar in a trade for the great Kawhi Leonard. Now, the Raptors and the Warriors have triumphed their way into the finals. 2 players vying for the title of best basketball player post-LeBron. And Kawhi is looking to exact revenge and dethrone another back-to-back champion. Are you ready for some hoops? My big question for the finals is, How will Kevin Durant affect this series? Kevin strained his calf in the second round and is questionable for early in this series. I imagine if the Warriors are struggling after a couple games, they will hastily push him in there. However, the Warriors are playing with a completely different mojo without him. Now that they're limited to just the Splash Brothers as the major two scoring threats, Golden State has been harkening back to that 2015 playing style, where they push the pace, lots of ball movement, lots of screens, a lot of Steph Curry out there doing the jitterbug on the hardwood floor. No longer do they rely on iso ball, where it's Kevin's turn, then Steph's turn, then Clay's turn. KD has some priorities to consider. Because would Kevin really want the Warriors to succeed without him? What does that say about his free agent signing back in 2016? If Kevin Durant's not 100%, I'd be wary about putting him out there on the court because Durant is such a ball-dominant player that he could prove to be a cog in the gears of a well-oiled Warriors machine. We could see a death by isolation ball scenario. And on the other side of the court, who guards Kawhi without Kevin Durant? It could be Andre Iguodala, but he's getting kind of old and slow. It could be Klay Thompson, but Klay would get bullied around by Kawhi. We should also look for Toronto to load up their lineup with bigs so they can own the offensive and defensive glass. Loading in a bunch of big bodies under the basket will preoccupy Draymond Green and force the Warriors to push in a bunch of bodies into the paint, limiting their opportunities for a fast-paced transition offense off of a miss. My X factor for this series is everybody on Toronto not named Kawhi Leonard, because the Warriors as a unit have a lot of experience in the NBA Finals. Kawhi has been there, but will his supporting staff be able to carry that momentum that they built in that Bucks series? Toronto is rolling into these finals with excellent shooting from their bench, excellent rebounding and defense from their bigs, excellent production from Kyle Lowry, and oh, Daddy! Fred VanVleet went 14 of 17 from 3 since the birth of his son. The hot hands from Toronto's role players allowed for a lot of confident passing from Kawhi. Kawhi averaged 5.5 assists per game in their 4 wins against the Bucks. That's 2 more than his average for the first 2 rounds. If I had to distill it down to one X factor for the series, I would say Danny Green. Because Danny has just as much finals experience as Kawhi. They played together in San Antonio. But Danny underperformed in the Eastern Conference Finals, shooting just 17% from 3. And considering he shot 45.5% in the regular season, that was just... I see this being a closer series than a lot of pundits out there. In the regular season series, Toronto was the only team to sweep Golden State. They proved from the bottom up that they are ready to come out and play against the Warriors. I think that home court advantage is going to be huge for Toronto, because this is the first time that the Warriors will be playing without it in the finals. Playing in front of a raucous Canadian crowd should do wonders in helping to calm whatever nerves my Raptors have heading into this. For all of my previous reasons, and because of the fact that they have home court advantage, I'm giving the edge to my Toronto Raptors. I see us splitting in Toronto, splitting in Golden State, Toronto winning Game 5, and then Game 6. How is that for a goodbye to Oracle Arena? Kawhi's just playing at the top of his games, ladies and gents. There's just no way to argue that. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna get a lot of flack from this from all of the Warriors fans from, Los Angeles, and New York, Dallas, Miami, everywhere that Warriors fans are from. Thanks for watching. You're probably gonna like that video over there because YouTube tells me so. Don't forget to love your squad and respect your rivals, because you never know when we might end up on the same team.